about yesterday's session with Dr. Tatiana Prowell of Johns Hopkins University and the FDA, which was called Designing Patient-Centric Clinical Trials. So Dr. Prowell discussed three key things that would be super helpful to help patients through their journey in a clinical trial. One thing is decentralization of some of the aspects of the trial. If a patient doesn't have to travel to a particular cancer center or, to answer a questionnaire or to get their imaging, if they can just get imaging from their, their home healthcare system, it would be a lot more conducive for patients to be able to get on a clinical trial or be comfortable participating in a clinical trial and also staying on the clinical trial, because a clinical trial does take time. These extra appointments do take planning, they take resources, they take childcare, transportation, time off of work. So, this decentralization idea was really exciting to me because that might be really important for a patient. Like when I have my care, even locally, I'm part of the Hopkins system, but when I can go to a Hopkins healthcare facility that's closer to home, it makes a lot of difference, especially during, when you're working through your therapy, etc. Another aspect that she discussed was modernizing eligibility criteria. And so what that means is making sure the eligibility criteria are not designed to be so exclusive that it makes it difficult to even find your patient population. Pharmaceutical companies might put a lot of different eligibility criteria on their study. They might exclude patients with prior meds or, reduced kidney function, etc. But then when you're talking about bringing in diverse populations, sometimes certain populations may present later in their disease, or they may more routinely have issues with kidney function, liver function, etc. So then right there with those exclusion criteria, you are excluding patients that will lend some necessary variability to the trial for you to be able to expand those results and apply them to a broader population. So Dr. Prowell discussed how removing just three particular exclusion criteria, which were prior meds, prior malignancy, and reduced renal function from a trial, the exclusion of patients dropped from 48% down to 2%. And that's big. And another thing that she discussed was offering the trial drug to two patients for every one patient on the control. That might be more enticing to patients because, with them thinking, oh, you have this life-saving therapy, but I have a 50% chance. She mentioned that this would require trials to enroll up to 12% more patients for statistical accuracy or statistical power, but it might entice more patients to participate knowing that they're more likely to get the life-saving treatment. The control arm is very necessary for us to understand the impact of that medication, but patients are enrolling in the trials for the life-saving medication. Awesome.